Well, we've got this fabulous apricot tree and it's dropping its apricots everywhere, so I'm going to make a dessert. So I'm going to put these apricots, chuck them in a pot, add some sugar, add some water, and put it on the stove to cook. Stir it around so it doesn't stick, it doesn't catch on the bottom. When it's like this, I like to skim all the impurities out of the top, just like so. All those little bubbles, yeah, just skim them off the top, and that helps to create a nice clear product. Next, I'll make sure it's nice and soft and smushy. Yes, nice and soft and smushy. Here we go. And then I whiz it all up with the stick blender, whiz. Then I push it through a sieve nice and gently, and what I like to do is I get a ladle and I push it through. It just helps to get it through, make it nice and smooth until we get all of that crap out there. So we dump that crap in the bin. Next we put in a pot, half cup of water and 2 tablespoons of gelatine, and we're going to give that a stir and dissolve it, and pour that into the apricot mixture. Put that back in the pot, and we're going to bring that to the boil, and that's going to be a nice apricot gel that will go in the middle. So we're going to get our tin, just a tin here, line it with some plastic, which we're going to create this gel center. We're actually making an entremet. If you've seen MasterChef Dessert Masters, this is what we're making, an entremet. It's fabulous in French. So we're going to scoop some of our apricot out here into our tin. We're going to whack that into the freezer and get that frozen. Next, we're going to set our oven at 180, and we're going to make a fabulous sponge mix to get it from bin in. And I whack in 4 eggs, nice and gently, not to get the shell in there. Then I put in a 280 mils of water and give it a slight slow whisk. There we go, whisk slowly and gently for about 30 seconds just to mix it. Then we scrape the edges to make sure we've got no powder left around there. Then give it a good whiz up for 10 minutes. And then we pour it into a, oh there we go, nice and fluffy after 10 minutes. Then we pour it into a nicely lined tin, and we bake it for around about, I would say 45 minutes I think we baked this one for. And as we come out, and, oh look at that, fabulous and done. Next we're going to move on to a chocolate brulee bavoise mixture. So we're going to put in some cream, some vanilla, and then in another bowl some sugar and some egg yolks, and more egg yolks, and more egg yolks, and more egg yolks. And we'll whisk up our egg yolks and sugar while our cream is coming to the boil, and then we'll get our boiling cream before it boils over, and we will pour just a little bit into the bowl and give it a whisk so it doesn't get a shock with all that hot cream. Give it a little whisk there, then it's going to be safe to pour the rest in. So pour the rest in and give it another whisk, should I say. Then we're going to pour that back into a clean pot and put that back on the stove. We've got some milk chocolate which will pour this over and melt in a minute, but we're going to put this back on the stove on a gentle low heat, just gently moving it till it thickens up ever so slightly. You don't bring it to the boil because it will tend to scrambled eggs. And we'll pour it over the chocolate. And this is where I forgot to tell you, we need to add some gelatine here. I didn't add the gelatine, and you'll find out why. But some gelatine will help set the custard. Now we're going to make a chocolate mousse. So we're going to get some more Whittaker's chocolate, and we're going to put a half cup of sugar, and we're going to put in a half cup of milk, and we're going to melt that in the microwave. 2 minutes should do the job. And then we're going to put a half cup of water into a pot and about a tablespoon of gelatin, and we're going to melt that gently over a low heat. Stir, stir, stir. Stir, stir, stir. Now we're going to mix up what we've just melted, that chocolate and sugar, till it's nice and smooth, and then we'll pour the gelatine into that mixture and we'll mix that all together and we'll set it aside in the fridge to cool down just so slightly. Next we're going to whisk up about 750 ml of cream to a light ribbon stage and then pour in the cooled down chocolate mixture and fold it through nice and gently. There we go. We've got our chocolate mousse and we're going to set that aside. Now what you're going to need to do is get yourself a 12-inch tin and line it with baking paper. This step I forgot to do while I was doing it in the middle of the night, but I laid down a layer of the chocolate mousse, then put down my set frozen apricot and the chocolate Bavarois custard, and then another layer of mousse, and then I started making my white chocolate mousse. So I get some white chocolate, add the sugar, the milk, same as the chocolate one, melt that down again, and then get a separate pot with half cup water and some more gelatine. This time I'm putting a bit extra in just to make sure it's extra firm, and then put that on the stove to dissolve nice and gently over a low heat. It's nice and dissolved, yes. And we'll whisk our white chocolate mixture till it's nice and smooth. Whisk, 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 whisk. And then we'll get our gelatine and we'll pour that in and whisk it up some more and put that in the fridge. Now we'll whisk up our cream again, 750 ml, and to the light ribbon stage, and then pour in our cooled white chocolate mixture and fold that gently together. So we've got our frozen mixture from the freezer, and we will put a layer of our sponge in there. We only need about a third of the cake, and then we'll top that off with our white chocolate mousse. Next we're going to make, and we'll put that into the freezer to set, probably about 10 hours. Next we're going to get about 400 grams of chocolate buttons, white chocolate buttons, and 200 grams of condensed milk, and put that in. We're going to add some water and some sugar and some glucose to the pot, and we're going to bring that to the boil. Oh, we've got some gelatine too, which we'll just bloom and get that soft, ready to add a little bit later. But in the meantime, our pot's on the stove, and it's up to the boil. We're going to get it to 103 degrees Celsius and take it off the heat. Here we go, 99, 100, 101, 2, 103 degrees, yep, cool. And pour that over the white chocolate and gelatine and mix it and cool it. And when you're ready to pour it, you need to make sure it's at 34 degrees. We're going to separate it and add some fun colours here. Our cake is nice and frozen. This glaze is down to 34 degrees. And here we go. Flip our entremet out and remove our paper. And making sure that the glaze is at the right temperature so you get the nice coating. We are going to get creative here. We're going to pour it and flood the entire cake. So Christmassy. All those colours. And we're just going to let it flood and cover the whole thing, and it will just drip off, and then you can put it back into the fridge to set until you're ready to serve. Isn't that looking festive and Christmassy? Just gorgeous. And green. And there we have it. We've got our fabulous triple chocolate entremet with an apricot centre and sponge cake. Ooh. So there we have it for this episode of Cooking with Piper. I hope you have a safe and Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Bye.